Welcome to Junior Master Online Training. Junior Master program is special to April in the fact that it's the highest level as by far the most difficult. When students study from seed until sapling, they experience a gradual increase in difficulty. However, when they switch from sapling to Junior Master, it's a significant jump in difficulty. Because of this, teachers need a specific set of skills, and that's why at the end of this training, there is an assessment factor added on. This training program is going to take you through all of the skills that you need to teach Junior Master. The Junior Master program shares some of the same objectives as the other levels. However, the biggest difference is that at the end of Junior Master, our goal is to get students to a grade 5 to 6 language expression. Students will experience 4 different classes: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Throughout all of these classes, students are introduced to completely new components. If any of the components are the same as sapling, then they become much more difficult. As we can see here, that the reading passage reaches 5 to 6 paragraphs. Junior Master's schedule is different than any other level, so we'll take a closer look. So here we are looking at a 3-day class, and we're looking at week 1. So during day 1, during their first half, they will study 40 minutes worth of reading. Then they'll study speaking and writing. On day 2, the same schedule follows, and on day 3, they do creative reading and creative thinking project. Week 2 is where it changes a little bit. During day 1 of the week, it follows that same schedule. However, on day 2, or you could also say the 4th lesson using the textbook, they will do listening for 40 minutes in the first half and then speaking for 40 minutes in the second half. Here we're looking at a 2-day class structure. We have week 1 and now day 1. So during day 1, they're going to study reading for 40 minutes. During the second half, speaking and writing. And then they'll do creative reading for 40 minutes, and that's with either bilingual teacher or native. Looking at day 2, the same schedule follows, except they'll be doing the creative thinking project. Again, that's either bilingual teacher or native. During week 2, day 1, they'll study the same schedule. And then finally, day 2 or lesson 4, they'll do only listening, only speaking from the textbook, so they will not do reading, they will not do writing, and then they'll finish with the creative thinking project. But the differences for Junior Master schedule don't stop there. So right now we're going to take a look at each class, meaning reading, speaking, writing, or listening, and we'll look at what components to teach as well as what days, or we could say what lessons, to teach them. Here we're looking at the components that make up a reading class. During a reading class, students will study reading skill, knowledge activation, reading passage, comprehension checkup, and visual mapping. So it looks pretty similar to a sapling class. However, the difference is, on lesson 1 only, students are learning a reading skill. There is another difference during reading passage. Students will now learn or do an independent study. You'll see that in the demonstration video. One other thing to remember is that reading is only covered during lessons 1 to 3 of the textbook. During lesson 4 of the textbook, students do not study reading. They only study listening and speaking. Moving on to the writing class, we're looking at lessons 1 to 3 only of the textbook because during lesson 4, students do not study writing. So during lesson 1, students will learn a writing skill. This is completely new to them. And then they'll learn pre-writing 1 and pre-writing 2. And these two components are just like sapling. Looking at lesson 2, they're going to learn summary writing number 1, summary writing number 2, and this is completely new to them. And then during lesson 3, they'll study editing skill 1, editing skill 2, and this is also brand new for them. Speaking class is special because it's covered every lesson of the textbook. Now, lessons 1 through 4, students will do topical speaking, and that's just like sapling level. However, oral summary is covered only during lesson 4, and this is a brand new component for Junior Master students. Last but not least, we have our listening class, which is done during lesson 4, and it takes a full 40 minutes. So the components that make up that class are listening skill. This is brand new for students. Knowledge activation, it looks very similar to a reading knowledge activation. We have listening number 1, comprehension checkup. This is the same as a sapling listening class. And then we have our 2 new components, listening number 2, comprehension checkup number 1, and listening number 2, comprehension checkup 2.